This show is confusing. We all know that. But maybe by isolating certain aspects of the story, we could try and figure things out. Now, there were a few people in the comments who actually asked me, what actually is a singular point, actually? And it's a good question because even though the show is titled Singular Point, I don't remember it ever actually explaining what it actually is, actually. In actuality, as far as I remember at least, the closest it comes to explaining it is this here diagram. But let's come back to that. But let's start off by simply Googling it. What do gorilla penises look like? I mean, what is a singular point? And see if we can find an easily digestible explanation. Oh, here we go. A point at which a given function of a complex variable has no derivative, but of what the fuck? Just rolls off the tongue. Let's try reading that again. A point at which a given function of a complex variable has no derivative, but of which every Come on, you can do this, son. They're only words. I believe in you. Thanks for the encouragement, me. Someone's got to do it, me. Oh, I f***ing hate you, me. A point at which a given function of a complex variable has no derivative, but of which every neighborhood contains points at which the function has derivatives. Lieutenant Commander Data, what the hell does that mean? Well, Captain, if you're asking me to explain it to you, I do believe it means you're an IQ-impaired chimp and that you should go and f*** yourself. I feel like there's some commas and shit missing in there, and some English. So no help there, not for me at least. I know there's some smarter people than me out there, and maybe this all makes complete sense to you. Let's try the next one. Because look, it's also a mathematical term.
So in geometry, a singular point on a curve is one where the curve is not given by a smooth embedding of a parameter. The precise definition of a singular point depends on the type of curve being studied.
Oh, that's so much clearer now, thank you. So what the fuck is a singular point? So I knew it from the phrase singular point in time. Now I don't know where I got this from, it's just one of the random pieces of information that's been floating around my head for years, but I've always taken this phrase to mean a point in time or an event that everything else seems to rotate around or center upon. Does that make any kind of sense? So like in trailers when people say, everything has been leading to this. Whatever that event may be, let's say that that's the singular point in time. So add on top of that, events in the future that are somehow leading backwards through time to this event, plus events in other dimensions that are crossing the dimensional barrier to all meet in this one specific place and time for this event, whatever it may be, to happen. I'm confused. All right, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. You were talking? Yeah, that's Granny. She's always confused about something. So an example. Let's take the moment that Hitler ordered the advance into Poland as a key moment in human history. Yes, I was very much like Poland. Go get me Poland, boys. A moment that changed the course of human history. A moment that we, in some way or another, are still feeling the ramifications of today. You could say that that was a funnel point that all of human history led up to, okay? Okay. But guys, I really like Poland. Please go get it for me. Now, on top of that, let's say that Futurians. No, not Godzilla Futurians. They'll only bring along those fucking wombat things. Let's just say future people. It's from the year 4000. Came back to try and stop this from happening. And on top of them, humans from an alternate dimension come in to try and stop it too. So all of those timelines are converging on this one point in history. Another way to look at it is like a black hole. There's a singularity inside of a black hole, right? Known as a gravitational singularity, which is basically where gravitational forces become infinite. But before this turns into an Answers with Joe episode, whose videos I absolutely love, by the way, just think of it in the same way that a black hole pulls everything in towards its epicenter. A singular point might be drawing everything toward it. Now, we're not talking here like in a physical sense, like a black hole would in the real universe, but perhaps in a sense of time. So how does this relate to a show where everyone is watching to see a giant lizard crush Tokyo, I hear you ask? Well, my personal theory, and this video is all my personal theory, by the way. I'm no mathematician. I'm just some guy who's watched too much sci-fi. But my personal theory is that we're seeing some sort of convergence of one dimension into another, and perhaps into several other dimensions. So let's say there's this one dimension, and let's call it the red dimension. Let's say that every 100 years, it expands and pushes out into the other dimensions. We know that our universe is expanding, right? But we don't know what it's expanding into. Perhaps it's expanding into other universes. It can manifest in physical forms, i.e. the Kaiju, with its own ecosystem, so that's why there's all these rivalries between the Kaiju. And if left unchecked, our dimension would simply be overrun by it. Anyway, listen, there is no doubt 100 reasons why this theory will turn out to be incorrect. I just love trying to connect all these dots and seeing what I come up with. You know those connect the dot pictures? I would love to be given one of those without any numbers on it and just see what my mind would come up with. Connecting the dots.
You've literally drawn 6 penises in a row.
What are you talking about? Ah! Anyway, my overall point is that if you don't get something about Singular Point, don't worry about it too much. As I've said before, I really feel like Singular Point is towing the line into cosmic horror. And the whole point of cosmic horror is that there are things out there that would be completely beyond our understanding. Which is why, and I know this is a sidetrack by the way, but it's why I was so disappointed with Annihilation. That movie was a perfect opportunity to do cosmic horror well, and it kind of just fell short. Although that said, don't pin me to the wall on that one because I do need to watch it again. Anyway, as I said in my last video, I love to hear from you guys. If there's anyone out there who knows more about this stuff than I do, please, I would love to hear from you. I love reading through all your comments. I'm going to start on a video examining whether Singular Point could be the entry point into a Godzilla multiverse. Somebody in the comments said that had been confirmed already, but I don't know. I am going to look into that. So once again, guys, the time has come to invite you to get out of my head. I really do appreciate all the views, likes, and subscribes. You have no idea. It really does mean the world to me. But the time has come for me to take my meds. So until the next video, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Cheerio, bye!